Hello. As of December 16th, 343 Industries has initiated their ban hammer. From here, I will read to you a post I made on the MCC Steam forums. The ban has been dropped. It seems 343 Industries has dropped the ban hammer. They've also seemingly dropped the ball on taking responsibility and approaching the real issue, their flawed system. I'd also like to apologize on behalf of those who support 343's action against swordliners, AFKers, and bots for not listening to reason and failing to comprehend a perspective outside their initial feelings they have when not being able to play a normal griffball match. What has happened here is wrong, regardless of what 343 Industries and its low-resolution mindset supporters may believe. I did my best to convince 343 supporters of my position. I've had many articulate responses against my perspective, and I appreciate that, and hold no aggressive or negative emotions, like what most of my opposition had possessed during my time in these forums. I regret to hear that some of you will be missing in action for some time, and hope no further consequences are to be issued, and that you can find it in yourselves to come back when your ban has been lifted. I'm creating this video to send my regards to those who have temporarily been banned, especially those who were banned and weren't participating in AFKing, botting, and supporting the sword line. Such a lousy ban hammer is no surprise, considering it's from the same company that crafted a flawed system and won't own up to their own mistakes regarding it. I've been requested to draw attention to a forum linked to Halo Waypoint. While I won't address it specifically in this video, I'll post a link to it in the description. I realize at this point that debating what action 343 should take regarding AFKers, botters, and swordliners is pointless. However, I would like to cover some counter-arguments I faced during my time in the forums. Argument 1. How am I supposed to play griffball if everyone is swordlining, botting, and AFKing? People are making the most out of a system 343 Industries has crafted. Because of how players are rewarded experience, the most optimal way to rank up is through swordlining, AFKing, and botting in griffball. I wonder that if players could earn experience just as effectively in other modes, if the backlash towards them wouldn't have been so dramatic. 343 Industries does have a system in place to kick AFK players, but they don't have anything to deal with macros, bots, and swordliners. There are no rules regarding macros and swordlining that I can find. Many turn to this source that I will display to you now. I've looked through every one of these rules, and the only one I can reasonably presume is the rule 343 supporters will point to is Rule VII, or Rule 7. I'll read that to you now. Rule 7. Harmful behavior has no place on Xbox. Cheating, tampering, and the use of exploits. Since competition is best when it's fair, a level playing field is one of the most important requirements for gaming. When people cheat, use exploits, or otherwise tamper with hardware or software to gain a competitive advantage, it ruins the experience for everyone. Because of this, cheating, tampering, and the use of exploits is never acceptable on Xbox Live. Like, never. The macros taking place in griffball doesn't give the bot a competitive advantage over anyone. Swordlining doesn't give a competitive advantage over anyone. People will try to twist and turn the purpose of Rule 7 and its use of the word exploit as if it were pertaining to the people rightfully optimizing their XP income. Furthermore, griffball isn't even in Halo Reach's competitive playlist, meaning there is no game mode specific ranking system. People aren't getting higher game mode specific ranks through griffball, and there aren't even any rewards for players with high ranks in these competitive playlists, as of the recording of this video. Argument 2. Griffball has been hijacked, and swordliners are griefing players who don't participate in swordlining, spawn killing and harassing players who aren't participating in the swordline. The term hijacked is being used to victimize normal Griffball players and push a false narrative as though griefing is exclusive to swordliners. There's childish behavior occurring on both sides of this discussion. Being involved in the Halo MCC Steam forums, I've witnessed it myself. I've even witnessed the moderator of the MCC Steam forums encouraging griefing behavior against swordliners, which is against the very rules of the forums he's moderating. I'm not lying, and I would provide evidence of this. However, the thread has been deleted, presumably by the moderator himself. I suspect it's because he had realized he had slipped up, and is now removing any evidence against him. Note that this moderator is in favor of banning players for reasons like griefing, and from what I can see, is the first one to start using hijacked as a manipulative means to indoctrinate individuals into his narrative. He's victimizing his side of the discussion and hides evidence against him. Not a sign of a good moderator, and not of one of good conscience. If I'm not mistaken, the role of a moderator is to enforce the forum rules and answer any questions regarding the rules of the forum or about the game and its company, not involve yourself in discussions with posts like this one. Regarding the spawn killing aspect of this argument, here's a post I made on the forums. Weird thing about spawn killing is in the old days on 360 Griffball, when your team was worse than the opposing team, you were susceptible to being spawn camped due to the fact that credits were rewarded with kills. Granted that no additional experience in MCC's version of Reach is gained once the cap has been reached, should players be banned in that scenario? The oppressed team certainly can't play Griffball when dying to the enemy team, just like how they can't play Griffball when swordlining is occurring. Also consider that Halo is an arena shooter, and being knowledgeable of spawns to effectively oppress the enemy team or player regardless of what the objective is common practice in high-level play. Argument 3. You aren't playing the game mode as intended. If we're going to allow developers to dictate how we play a game we bought, and punish players to the extreme that they just have for not abiding by what they see as acceptable for a game mode, consider this. I'm going to hop into a big team battle capture the flag match. In it, I'm focusing only on kills. Maybe I want to fly a pelican around. Maybe I want to play bumper cars against enemy warthogs. I'm not focusing on the objective in Big Team Battle Capture the Flag, just like the swordliners aren't focusing on Griffball's normal objective. By the logic of Argument 3, I deserve to be banned or punished in some form or another. Well, you aren't oppressing players, keeping them from playing the game and its objective. Like I said earlier in the video, spawn killing would occur in high-level play, and such oppression is normal in arena shooters. These are the main arguments I think needed addressing. I hope I've made myself clear. Look, I understand people can't enjoy Griffball the way it's traditionally played. I understand that what happened in the Griffball mode is frustrating to those on the opposing side of this topic. You're in every right to be. However, what you're doing wrong is blaming the players for optimizing their game through the limits of the game mechanics. If the mechanics are flawed in this way, and can be used in what some consider to be abuse, the fault lies on 343. You are against the wrong people. I am on your side. I am on the side of the consumer, the side you think your arguments are in favor of. That's all I have. I will do my best to answer any questions you may have in the comments. Have a good day.